Black Ops 6 Zombies is going to feature a customizable HUD. However, it might not work the way you think. So today we're going over several HUD layouts that I think you're gonna love. Starting things off, this is the default HUD layout. You can see we got the minimap with the location right there. We have an emotes and sprays submenu here. Now, I believe this is only gonna show up once you hit the D-pad, and it will eventually fade away. Bottom left here, we've got our armor, health, salvage points, armor again right here for the actual armor plating, as well as self-revives, perks in the middle. We have all of our ammo and equipment in the bottom right, as well as our gobblegums. Whoever is radioing in on the right here, and our round counter is right behind here in the top right behind the little logo. This is nearly identical to Cold War's HUD layout, and a lot of people didn't like that. However, in Black Ops 6, we are going to get to choose between several different preset layouts. Now, unfortunately, according to this tweet, we're not going to be able to completely customize each and every single element of the HUD, and there's a lot of other details about the HUD that aren't included in the blog post, so we're going to go over those today. However, the blog post did give us this HUD layout right here. This is straight from the blog post. This is what they are calling the Legacy HUD layout. They said this is the most similar to Black Ops 3, and you can tell that by the round counter being in the bottom left here, the perks being a little bit more to the left here, and we do not have a minimap, which looks so good. So the top right, minus the obvious logo right here, and the top left are completely clean. Now, also, I don't know if this is true or not, but right here on the right-hand side, it's hard to see, but there are three little white, highlights right here, which almost tells me maybe, just maybe, these gobblegums aren't showing all the time. Maybe these three little highlights are here all the time, but then only once you use your D-pad, sort of similar to this emote page, maybe that's when the gobblegums will show up. I don't know. I hope that's the case because that takes up a lot of real estate. But anyway, let's move on. Now, what's weird is that if you look at whoever's radioing in on us, if we go back to the regular one and we flip back and forth, for some reason, the radio thing is way more in the way than this. I hope this is the permanent position because having it be all the way in the center of the screen like that just looks terrible in my opinion. And a lot of people are giving this HUD layout a lot of crap. And I think it's because of the radio, I think it's because of this logo right here, and I think it's because of all of these sprays and emotes right here. So what I did is I took the gameplay that we got that didn't have any HUD on it, and then I photoshopped all of these HUD elements right onto the gameplay. So here you can see in motion the perks right here, the round counter right here, all of our stuff right there, the equipment in the center, which is again a weird choice because there's not been a legacy title that has done that. And personally, this to me looks really pretty clean. This looks like an upgrade from Cold War. Turning off that minimap and having the rounds in the bottom really makes a difference. And we are not going to be having somebody calling us in all the time. At least I hope not. I know canon characters are coming back, but hopefully they don't have their picture up here every time they say any bit of dialogue. Hopefully that goes away. Hopefully that's just for the people who aren't in the map themselves. But even so, I am going to move Dr. Peck over here, the radio kind of to the side like we saw with the regular HUD, and that again looks really good. But when we're not being talked to, that's going to go away. And this is what I imagine the default legacy, quote unquote, legacy HUD is going to look like. And to me, this looks pretty good if you ask me. I mean, I know the thing in the center is a little bit weird here in the center. That looks pretty odd. And the perks are kind of not directly to the left here. Oh, that's some Cold War we're going to compare it to. I would like to move the perks over a little bit more, and I would like to move this equipment thing over here. However, when we compare this to Cold War's HUD, let's just take a look at Cold War's HUD right here. Look at this. Look at how overwhelming this is. Now, also, this thing right here, this is confirmed. This little kill feed in the center here, that's confirmed to be back. Damage numbers are luckily going to be able to be turned off as well as health bars, so don't worry about that. However, we don't know about these annoying and absolutely ridiculous medals, as well as the absolutely, in my opinion, ridiculous calling card thing up here. What is even the point of this? It would be heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking to me if we saw that calling card thing as well as the medals return, because they, in my opinion, are the most useless and distracting thing about the HUD we've ever seen in Zombies. But as you can see, this is again Cold War's HUD layout. This is the legacy layout from Black Ops 6. And if we don't have the medals, if we don't have the annoying calling card thing, without the minimap, this looks a lot cleaner than a lot of the HUDs that we've had in the past. Modern Warfare 3, Vanguard, all this stuff. So this looks pretty good. However, what would this look like if we did what I said, move these perks over a little bit here, maybe we move this equipment over here, what would that look like? Well, let's go ahead and transition on into that. Look at this HUD layout right here, huh? A little bit of Photoshop skills, donuts, huh? That looks pretty good. And then what do I hear Dr. Peck on the radio? Oh, he's popping up here. Psh, strike team, get me an eye patch or something, I don't know. But this is what I feel like those two minor changes make a world of difference. However, if we look in the bottom right here, this still has a lot of information on it. So what we might want to do, what people might be inclined to do, is move the round counter all the way up to the top left here, sort of like Cold War, or perhaps Black Ops 4. So what that looks like is if we move it up just like that, we have our health right here. Look at how clean this corner looks, and we can extend these perks all the way down to about here. This is good. I love this. This might be my favorite layout with the round counter up top here. I'm not quite sure. Oh, and there's Dr. Peck calling in on us, strike team, whatever. But this is not a bad option either. And let me just say, I think the proportions of the perks are going to be off. I think the proportions of everything is going to scale to people's screens differently. So it might look different on different people's screens depending on what aspect ratio and yada, yada, yada. And this whole experiment that I did here didn't take me too long, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to use these elements that they've already created, because I see a lot of posts. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter, Reddit, all this stuff saying, oh my goodness, how could you do this when Treyarch, you guys are so much better than Treyarch, whatever. And then they'll use this Black Ops 3 HUD as an example here. And yes, by the way, yes, this is so clean, the round counter points right there. However, I don't think people really respect the power creep and how many features are displayed on the HUD. There's no salvage here. There's no armor here, there's no equipment here, and plus this little thing in the bottom right hand corner, a lot of people seem to love that in terms of a stylistic choice. And this might be like an artist versus an engineer type of debate here, but if you ask me, these little things with the equipment, way cleaner than this whole bulky thing right here. Plus, this conveys way more information than this does. This is tiny. These tiny little icons are here are hard to see for a lot of people. And this right here with the number right next to it, very clean, very clear. It communicates it way more effectively than these little icons here with the slight fade and stacking on them whatsoever. And I'm sure with the select fire and the rarities and all that stuff, that could easily be put over here. So that's perfectly fine. Oh, we do have a power up in the middle. So I think a power up in the middle would actually be really good with all of these HUD layouts, except for this one. This is the legacy one. So I bet you the power up drop would be somewhere in the middle right here as well. And like I said earlier, I know these gobblegums take up a lot of real estate here. Like I said, they might fold back into the screen over there. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do want to say, especially if anyone at Treyarch is watching this, don't give up on the HUD. There are going to be a lot of different people thinking about, oh my goodness, this will be better. I want my perks to be here. I want this to be this. I want this to be that. So if you're at Treyarch, please, the more customization, the better. I know there's different presets. I know there's different options, but the best way to avoid the hate, to avoid the criticism, I guess, is just to give players as many options as possible. I know it's a tiny little thing. And like I said, this legacy HUD here, again, this legacy HUD is a huge improvement over Cold Wars, especially if we don't have the medals and all that sort of stuff. But again, with those medals, if it could be an option, I think that would work out for everybody. And for the players, we don't know what options are available to us yet. The blog post even said there's too much to talk about, even in that huge long blog post. So hopefully that means there's way more options and way more things that we can do. And I cannot comprehend how incredibly difficult this HUD customization stuff must be. Doing this has made me appreciate how genuinely clean this HUD can be. And I'm excited to see real gameplay, especially knowing the fact that we can actually turn off damage numbers. We can turn off zombie health bars. So if we can make it look as close to this right here, that would make me a happy donut. Now, if you just cannot get enough Black Ops 6 zombie content, have no fear. I just broke down the gameplay trailer and found things that not everybody has been talking about. And let me say, there's a lot more to that Liberty Falls map than you think there is. Be sure to check out the video here, and as always, stay beautiful.